So yeah, of course it sucks for me because I'm a Novak fan, of course. But hey, it is what it is. Congrats, Carlos Alcaraz. That was a good match. And the keys to the victory, in my opinion, was him overcoming the standard Novak pattern of winning. Like Novak has this like patterns of winning or digging himself out of certain shits shits situations, right? When he's down a set, when there's a tie break, when there's certain situations when he's injured or whatever. And there was a couple of like key points in this match. Um, and Alcaraz successfully learned, and this is what kind of separates him from Runa and Sinner, right? Because everybody wants to make a big three. Like it was Medvedev, Zverev, and Tsitsipas, right? The next big three. And now the next big three is Sinner, Runa, and Alcaraz. And, you know, not every generation has a big three. Sometimes there's only one guy. Sometimes there's zero guys. And I think Alcaraz is the thing that separates him, of course, he's probably the fastest, probably has the best shots, probably has the best cardio, whatever. But what separates him is his situational awareness and learning from certain situations. It's almost like chess. Tennis is almost like chess in a certain way when you have like endless patterns and there is a lot of data which you can look at. There's a lot of shit that you can look at from the past and use it in the present and get yourself out of trouble. And what Alcaraz did is basically knowing the Novak patterns of winning and playing his best tennis in the key spots, in the third game of the fifth set, in the tiebreak, not maybe going all out when it was 6-5 in the tiebreak. He had to save a set point. He just wanted to put it in, maybe put the pressure on Novak, because the way that Novak usually wins is, saw it versus Hurkacz. Hurkacz was the guy who was attacking all the time, and the pressure got to him in both of the tiebreaks, and he ended up missing. So what happened is Alcaraz actually got into lockdown. He was down 3-0 in a tiebreak, and he had to save a set point. And it was actually Novak making really cheap mistakes on backhand, and almost like Alcaraz putting the pressure on Novak because Novak knew that Alcaraz was always going to put the ball in. So that's I think one of the key points. And it was interesting to see. I when they played that long game in the third set, I remember the Jensen Brooksby Novak match from I don't know, second or third round U.S. Open 2021. Also, there was also like a 20-minute game that Novak lost, and he lost that set, whatever. And he immediately rebounded and just wiped the floor with Brooksby. And of course, Brooksby started cramping. Of course, Alcaraz is of course miles better player than Brooksby. But I thought that after that game, Novak was going to come back in that set and maybe put the pressure on Alcaraz because maybe Alcaraz was going to be like starting playing more aggressively, starting feeling over the moon, and then starting missing. But actually, that's not what happened, and Alcaraz successfully closed the set. Now, one more thing, and this was really interesting. I think towards the end of the third set, Novak was basically throwing that set away because he was down two breaks. But towards the let me just okay. Towards the end of the fourth set, it was kind of Alcaraz down 5-3 who didn't really try that hard, in my opinion. And that's also learning from a certain situations and being situationally aware of what's going on. From Alcaraz's point of view, he was aware that he's down 4-3 or 5-3 with a break, and he's hardly going to come back. And yes, there is maybe a scenario he comes back, it's 5-5, then they play a tiebreaker and he wins the fourth set and wins Wimbledon. But there is a bigger chance that Novak actually closes out the set and he wasted a shit ton of energy. So I think what happened at the end of the fourth set, which was actually sorry for that, exactly what happened in the end of the third set, but just the other way around. I think it was Alcaraz kind of not trying that hard, not running after every ball, not being so on, and he saved enough energy for the key points of the fifth set. Now, when it comes to standard Novak match, if he's down 2-1 and he wins the fourth set, you would think that okay, that's it. He's going to easily break him at the start of the fifth set, and that's all. It happened 100 times out of 100, especially with younger and experienced guys. But I think Alcaraz was really on it in the beginning of the fifth set, and they played three tied games. And the best tennis that Alcaraz produced was on the break points, was on both while he was saving the break point and actually trying to materialize his own break points. The defense he had, it was 1-0 Novak and advantage Novak, and the defense he played at that point when Novak missed that half volley, drive volley, excuse me, was actually ridiculous. That was a moment when you should put as much as energy as you can possibly do, right? And he actually managed. So that's why he won. And then, of course, on the breakpoint, he actually successfully materialized. So that's actually great for him. And I think Novak was physically okay, but towards the end of the fifth set, he had, I think, three straight games on Alcaraz's serve, which was love 15. And I think he had 2 second serves. And he just kind of, made some easy mistakes, made some cheap mistakes. I think maybe worrying about win too much, maybe worrying about Alcaraz's passing shot too much. I think Alcaraz utilized the drop shot really well in the fifth set. Uh, I don't know how much energy did he have in those legs, but when it mattered, he came up clutch. He didn't choke. He wasn't afraid of the moment. He kept playing the game he wanted to play. He wasn't afraid that he's going to miss. And after he missed, he came back in the next point. He actually won. So overall, I think this final is a proof how if you compare this match to the Sinner match, like it's not like it's not like the level was you look at the results and Sinner lost 3-0 and Alcaraz won 3-2. You would think, oh well, there's a huge gap between. No, it's actually not. But the key points, the situational awareness is completely on Alcaraz's side, and he learns so fast, which is actually scary when you think about it, because he's 20 and uh, actually, really, really, really good job when it comes to learning and when it comes to situational awareness. And you can see that he probably analyzes matches, he probably analyzes patterns, he knows when to apply more energy. He, probably knows his body better than he did maybe 2 months ago at the French Open. So yeah, I mean, that was pretty good. Now, of course, if I would be like a petty Novak fan, I would say, well, Novak missed a bunch of shots towards the end of the fifth set. But you know, I think also what happens is that when you have a certain way of winning and you always win that way, like Novak does when he's down 2-1, he just comes back and wipes the floor with everybody. When you kind of come up with some resilience, like Alcaraz did, you're maybe kind of surprised and stunned in a certain way, and probably that's why the cheap mistakes came from because he did miss a couple of like easy backhands, easy forehands with Alcaraz's serve towards the end of the set because he's not kind of used to playing these guys. I mean, I immediately remember Tsitsipas final of the French. He immediately broke him in the fifth set, and that was pretty much it. Sinner last year at Wimbledon, same thing. Just broke him immediately in the fifth set, and that's it. So also Novak is kind of like not used to playing these younger guys down a break in the fifth set, and they are kind of like equally fresh. Maybe not equally fresh, but they are kind of still playing their game. They're there. They're not making stupid mistakes, stupid decisions, and even if they do, they come back stronger in the next point. So, I think that's what separates Alcaraz a lot from the rest of the guys. Now, it is what it is. It kind of sucks for me. I was hoping that Novak was going to go to America trying to achieve the calendar Grand Slam, but hey, maybe in 2024, with the Olympic Games. But who knows? But I think this just really shows that you can always involve in tennis, and there are always, you know, as a younger guy, you can learn a lot. There is free knowledge. It's not just about shots, shot selection, cardio, whatever. It's about like knowing certain situations. Where was actually the match won or lost. So actually, I think Alcaraz passed all the tests. He put in maximum effort, lockdown mode when it mattered the most, and he won. So yeah, congratulations. I hope they play again in the America Cup. They played on clay. They played on grass. Let's play on hardcore again. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. It is what it is, but congrats Alcaraz. It was a nice win, and see you.